control the vertical.
Welcome to Anthologic, the TV anthology podcast. I am your host, Mark. Anthologic is a podcast dedicated to exploring the good, the bad, and the odd of horror, science fiction, and the best of mystery suspense anthology shows and series on TV. Join me as we slip through the cracks of reality to approach the extremes of experience, where we can peruse the stories and art of a sinister fairground of strange and wonderful rides. And now we go on to the show that is the focus of this particular episode. Welcome to this episode of Anthologic with your host Mark. Today we're covering one of the big dogs, I believe, of anthology TV shows that we're covering, Black Mirror. Now, Black Mirror I consider quite an important anthology series. In many respects, it's kept the anthology flag alive, I believe, in the modern era. I'd say, personally, of the classic era, the original sort of 50s, 60s era, Twilight Zone's the pace setter, and it's probably still the pace setter for everyone now. It's that influential. And as time went on, I'd say in the late 70s, the key one was probably Tales of the Unexpected. Of course, there were other anthology shows, as we've covered many of them, but people still think about Tales of the Unexpected. And I think there's also a slight niche for Hammer's House of Horror. Also, there's a lot of fondness for that series, though obviously there was less episodes than Tales of the Unexpected. It's just Tales of the Unexpected, with its iconic music and so on, it just kind of carved itself a niche. Now, as we get in towards more like now, I believe Black Mirror is probably the most important anthology series of the 2000s onwards. Though there are other interesting contenders, I'd say American Masters of Horror, Masters of Horror, Inside Number 9, it's called Sex, Love and Robots. I think these are all really, really solid anthology shows, but Black Mirror kind of knocks it out of the park, and it did it from the beginning. I haven't seen later episodes. I understand there has been some critique, they're just not as good as the early ones. I'm not that surprised, because the early ones are so good. There's so much care and attention, so well written, that it's kind of hard to keep. It would be hard to keep up that level. And it's a series. Black Mirror started as a series on the 4th of December 2011. And series 1 only consisted of 3 episodes. These were the brainchild of Charlie Brooker. Charlie Brooker's quite a funny, interesting, intelligent man. Appears on British TV, and he's done a lot of things like review shows, but I think his first serious dip into drama writing was prior to Black Mirror, a series called Dead Set, which is basically a zombie meets Big Brother story that was really good, really acerbic, really strong black comedy, as well as a gory horror film. Zombie film, and a really good entry into the zombie series, I have to say. I really, really like Dead Set. I believe it's on whatever the channel for streaming services. You can probably catch it there. It's a very strong recommend for me for that series, though it is an anthology series. But Black Mirror, wow, it started really strong, and it also went culturally, and it's still kind of referred to sometimes, because excuse me, because of this first episode, which I'm going to be discussing, and how it kind of meshed into reality, real life somewhat. Now, the first 2 series, and there was a Christmas special, after the first 2 series were aired on Channel 4. Then Channel 4 decided to drop it. Everyone was kind of surprised by this because of the quality of the show, but it was picked up by Netflix, and it's an ongoing concern of Netflix. They've done 4 more series and an interactive film called Bandersnatch, and it's all there on Netflix still, and I believe season 7 is in production. Now, they tend to be very few episodes. In all, I believe there's 27 and 1 interactive film, so 28 episodes available right now. So series 1 and 2 only consisted of 3 episodes, both of which were very strong. Series 3, 4 consisted of 6 episodes, and series 5 and 6 was 3 and 5 episodes respectively. So this is a sort of low quantity, high quality output. And I am looking forward to actually delving into this when we get into season 2 as an Anthologic. I think we're going to spend quite a bit of time looking at Black Mirror because of the sort of quality of it and how interesting and varied it is. Though apparently there is a connected universe somewhat, in that there's references, there's quotes, there's statements on walls, so which indicates it's kind of a shared universe. But this is a fairly informal arrangement. I don't think there's any interconnected stories. Though I do understand in season 7, the one that's coming, there is effectively a sequel, a prequel, a sidequel to one of the current episodes that are out. So that's kind of interesting. There's basically a return to the specific universe of one of the episodes. So that's kind of interesting. Now, as I mentioned, Charlie Brooker was the sort of brainchild of this. I've been a fan of Charlie Brooker for many years. I have several of his books. I was a big fan of his various commentaries on the news, which was the show Newswipe. He's done an amazing video game roundup. I mean, it is quite old now. It's probably 15 years old, where he talks about video games, and I can't remember the specific name of it, but he talks about the different categories and of game and things like that. He's a big gamer, or he was a big gamer, so he talked authentically and with authority. And with comedy, it was fantastic. So that, again, is one to catch. Hopefully it's on YouTube. I'm going to guess it's called Gameswipe. I'm pretty sure it's called Gameswipe. He likes the word swipe in his stuff. So it's there. So anyway, he wrote the episode we're talking about tonight. In fact, I believe he wrote 2 of the 3 episodes of series 1. He co-wrote one of the episodes, and he wrote this first one we're talking about. This first one, I have kind of put this recording off for a while because I didn't quite know how to discuss this, but I've decided to just be frank, right? It's got a very gross central concept, and it's a very British kind of sensibility. But so we're just going to tackle it head on, really. It's called The National Anthem, directed by Otto Bathurst, aired on the 4th of December 2011, and I have to say these 3 episodes did air on consecutive weeks, which is great. And this National Anthem was essentially a princess of the royal family has been kidnapped, and for her return, the kidnapper is demanding the Prime Minister, played by Rory Kinnear, has sex on live TV. It's televised nationwide. And he posts these demands simultaneously on Facebook and so on, social media, so it cannot be removed from the news. Everyone knows about it. And essentially, they're trying to track him down before he kills the princess. And at first the public's with him, no, he shouldn't have to do this. This is ridiculous. But then a cut-off finger gets delivered, apparently, of the princess, and the sort of public mood changes, and they're going, well, we're pitting your embarrassment against the life of a royal. And in fact, the Queen phones him and says, I am sure you will do everything in your power to rescue the princess. In the end, there's all sorts of... I mean, this is a the central conceit is ridiculous and cringy and so on and so forth. But in the end, there's all sorts of, trying to track down what's going on, who's responsible for this, but they're being fooled all the way down. And essentially, it looks like he's going to have to do it. In the middle of this, his wife is trying to talk to him, but he's avoiding talking to her because he realises what he's going to have to do. I have to say this was excellently written, excellently directed, excellently acted. Rory Kinnear was a standout as the Prime Minister, Michael Callow, and he also his slightly Machiavellian advisor, played by Lindsay Duncan. Good turn from Lindsay Duncan here. She's always been a great actress, and she was good in this. Very cool, calm, collected. And basically, he kind of has to go through with it, and they ask everyone to not turn on the TV sets, but of course, it becomes public entertainment. So this is a commentary on politicians. This is a commentary on the sort of nature of politics and voyeurism, and what this is about. And basically, it's a really disgusting exploitation kind of premise, done really well. That's what's happening here. And I don't really, this is old. I don't want to spoil it too much. Go see it for yourself. This is a really, really solidly acted piece of work. And as I'm rewatching it, I haven't watched it since 2011. I watched it once. I thought it was fantastic, but it was so kind of grim and disgusting. I didn't watch it again. But, rewatching it, I remembered virtually every scene. That's how good it is. I think, considering I watched it 13 years ago, I didn't lose it. It didn't really lose any of its impact either, because there's points you're cringing, there's points you're horrified, there's points you're laughing because it's so grim. It kind of just still works. And it also kind of tied into the public consciousness somewhat, because there was a rumour that came out about David Cameron, Prime Minister, ex-Prime Minister, that in a sort of hazing or initiation ritual into one of his colleges, he was supposed to have had some sort of sexual activity with a pig's head. I don't particularly believe that, but okay. But it was funny because people were like, oh, that's like Black Mirror. And they created the two. And now David Cameron has to live with that to the end of his days, unfortunately. But there is that. Black Mirror is a fantastic anthology series. And as I say, I am looking forward to delving into it again in the near future at some point. Okay, I'm going to wind it up there. Before I go, may I ask, is anybody out there?
I'm not.
We now return control of your television set to you. Until next week at this same time, when the control voice will take you to